Hello and welcome. This is the Daily Dharma. Thank you so much for joining. As usual, we do have the code cards, and I've been using this Return of Spirit deck as well with the fractal geometry type other images. I love those. And to save time today, and because I really want to get into some of the other decks while I do this, I've taken a little bit of time with the pre-shuffle, and I've already laid out the code cards. Both decks, in fact. And so to start us out, I want to start with this Whispers of the Ocean Oracle deck here, get a few animal inspirations to see where we find ourselves in the initial direction from Spirit. And then we'll get into the cards that are already laid out. And then I want to get into the Archetype deck, possibly the Shaman deck. It's a lot of cards. And maybe to round us out, some more Oracle cards. Depending on how the reading goes, we'll figure out which ones belong with this message. I hope you enjoy. If you do, if you get something out of it, please do consider like, share, subscribing, helping the channel grow. This deck isn't talking very much. I wonder if it's the right one. Let's give it one more shot here. Hope your day is going well. For those that follow, I do apologize for not being available yesterday. Had a lot going. Life is that way, isn't it? All right, we'll just take the bottom of the deck here. Shared Inspiration, number 20, with a nice little dolphin group. Do you call those pods? Throw yourself into a new project. Be willing to let go of time constraints and rules and really be aware of whatever fulfills your heart. So maybe in an attempt to balance out your life, or even in an attempt to do things the right way and take care of what you should do. If you throw yourself into a project, there's something that's going to be coming through for you. And so I definitely want to get into these cards now, because that seems to be, today we're really talking about this new project. So this may be something that is a revisitation for you. Either you're getting back into some of your interest, hobbies, or skills, getting back into a long-held co-creation with spirit. That one is a big one for the collective that I read for. I know that I've been on that train myself, where I'm getting all of these images of what that original vision was years ago. In my case, I feel that I channeled something that didn't seem related to what I thought I was doing at that time. I thought I was going to do cards and guidance and classes and all of this stuff. And then lo and behold, on that same plane, I started getting my hands in the soil. And then I had this vision where I believe I'm creating something for other individuals to share. It's part of this collective reawakening phase. So I feel like your project is most likely along those lines. However, if yours seems to be different, don't let that dissuade you. This can still be your reading. So, because some of the cards here don't necessarily resonate with my situation, so it must be for the collective. First one out is remembrance. So with this one, it's remembering everything that we are, everything that brings us to this moment. And it often shows to me the auric blueprint, the codes that are, I want to say superimposed upon our auric shield, our Merkaba field. And I don't have Merkaba on the deck, but this blue aura might speak to you. There's some violet here, or blue ray, violet ray, whatever your beliefs are. This is something to do with that. But then there's this very labyrinth looking center there. It's to me, it's like this is the central Merkaba field that you're operating within. And then we have all of these projects and pieces that you're influencing coming off. And it's almost this whiter part here. It reminds me of back, is it Greek, where they would put those sprigs. It looked like a crown to me, and maybe this means something to somebody else, but in some cases I'm seeing like a huge headdress. It could be some type of indigenous culture, a tribal communal culture where individuals, their headdress or their jewelry was kind of commensurate with their spiritual achievements or their vision questing or their shamanic gifts in whatever cultures that speak through your aura now. You have some type of, I want to just say, quantum entanglement with either different timelines, different cultures, and this may not be related to your genetic physical manifestation now, but there's a reason why other cultures are connected with ours. My daughter was talking about quinceañera the other day. I don't know if that plays into your situation, and she finds it very interesting. And I've been called towards various different cultures, many different cultures. And she brought up the word about cultural appropriation. And sometimes that can play into our resistance here. But if you have something that's related to knowledge about another time, space, culture, honor that. It's coming out later here. The second code card, number 44, universal love. I often see this as unconditional love, but there's definitely a need to be conditional in certain situations. That's what resonance is. That's what the yin and yang, this duality situation that we're immersed in, is really navigating. And so we can be unconditionally loving, the unconditional lover that still has certain standards. So standards, conditions, tomato type of stuff, right? I'll get back into some of this. We're going to build this one instead of dwelling on each card as I'd like to do. Number 41, synergy, how we work together. So those three are the only ones I laid out: remembrance, universal love, and synergy. So it's like remembering all parts of ourselves, all of our feelers that are out into different times, spaces, dimensions. And this is like crowning us, all of these various connections and quantum feelers. It's like us tapping in to the collective brain, like the psychic ocean that surrounds us. So it's like us nested in feelers out into this bigger, broader earthly plane, and then bigger into the solar system, planetary, cosmic, and then that multi-dimensional around the outside, and then the limitless potentialities that we can't even conceive of beyond that. It's like we're more than what we can quantify. And if we can simply understand that, then I think that we can become more careful with our thoughts, words, deeds, our manifestation in general, and remembering who we are and how we're plugged in. It lets us know that we are that ocean in a drop, and every bit of pollution is our pollution, and that hopefully allows us to forgive our transgressions as we forgive those transgressions of otherwise, and we try to clean up our side of the road. And if we have time and space and potential to give more, then we clean up further. I'm going to leave that one there. There's a lot of nuances to everything I bring up. I've got a lot of Libra, and I can always play devil's advocate even with spirit, and I think that sometimes that detracts from the message. So I'm going to stay with where we're going here. I wanted to move. I've got a bunch of cards here in the code deck underneath. But I'm anxious to get into the other cards as you can tell. So I'm just going to quickly read. The very bottom of the deck, when I flipped it, was communication, 14, followed behind it 13, coherence, cards that are in order. So understanding the communication coming through. Mediumship is here on the desk. So we're understanding the communications coming through in this plane and from beyond. And then beyond that, we've got alchemy, compassion, and third eye chakra, which is then being able to understand things from that higher perspective, panning out from the moment of intense ego responsiveness in situations that might have triggered or distracted from the past, and moving back into the position of being able to then use that. Have you ever heard that quote about, all I ever got was this big box of darkness. But darkness, dark matter, is the ultimate pure potentiality of the yin. It's like all that we're given is absolutely everything. And once we can remember how to work with things. Like there was a time when we sucked at everything, when we were first born, right? But we knew more because we hadn't failed as often. And so instead of seeing failure as failure, we can start to see those truly as the lessons and the gifts that they were, the rejections, the abandonments. All of these things are happening for us, although it seems that they're happening to us. And this is that compassion with self that doesn't come through the third eye and clog that up with thoughts of, this shoulda, woulda, coulda. And I'll leave that one there. The next row here behind those, one was obscured here. We have delight. Realization was the one that was hidden. Throat chakra and divine masculine. And so this is like the recognition of how we invoke joy and happiness and well-being into our life, choice by choice, moment by moment. And I'm not trying to preach here, although it may come across that way, because of course, as the one who shuffles these cards out, I'm leading the collective here on this channel based on my own failures, my own shadow, and my own objectives, right? And so there's this recognition of how we can clean up our active side to bring greater kindness. And through this, it's like we're working with our gifts in a whole new way. It's almost, I want to say naive, but we've got naive energy with knowledge. So it's cosmic knowledge, which doesn't necessarily make sense based on the accumulated physical knowledge of whatever suffering or trauma that we may have had, or failures, rejections, abandonments, right? We may have abandoned our own channeled calling here for a time. That's been coming up a bit. So, and then lastly on the code cards, the ones that would have come out had I put another row. So on the next part of the deck were perception, fertility, and healing. So our perceptions are growth opportunities, and they've provided a ton of healing. And it's like this sudden realization that we used to be, the word damage is coming up. We used to have circuitry that was shut down, and this extreme sensitivity had to maybe do that in times of overstimulation coping. But now it's like we're coming back online. We've created our own resonance. We've created our own environments, our own sacred space. And from that place, now there's this realization that we've done it. We've gotten to the place of of having our first taste of that sweet nectar of the gods. It's like we're tasting our success, but it looks quite different than what we thought. We thought we had a long ways to go, and here we are. We're getting there. And so, okay, the cards are then, I went through and clarified. And on remembrance, I got Return of Spirit, Caretaker. So the first thing I was getting with this was that we were being taken care of by Spirit. That, oh, and yeah, that's right. I said that things are happening for us, not to us. And so in that compassion, the use of our alchemical compassion in our intuitive space has led us to take care and cope our own way and help and assist others. Like we've taken care of our side of the street. We've gone out and we've taken care of a bunch of people, but perhaps for some of us in some capacity, there's been an overextension where it's like we're helping other individuals by taking care of them instead of showing them how to take care. That's not everybody. I mean, generally we are trying to tell people how to take care of themselves through example, through metaphor, through support, many different avenues. But then certain individuals need to go their own way so that we can free up our own energy. So creating that sacred space around our own field is activating something quite new. Well, not new necessarily. It's part of that soul blueprint here, the Akashic heritage. So by respecting and walking with those shamans and gurus and whoever else, the people in the top of their fields, scribes, something about being a scribe. Maybe you have done a lot of writing or healing through music, because we have writing and music, first ones coming out to clarify universal love. So this universal love is coming through us and activating us through things that we can write, through things that we are reading, researching, coming across those, whatever research that we've come into or studied cultures, cultural music, like shamanic drumming is coming up now, tribal type music. There's also all of those different solfeggio, am I butchering that? Vibrational music, something resonant, as well as modern rock and modern whatever, classic rock. Country came up day before yesterday. Music allows other poets and other scribes to have somebody famous in most situations go and get attention for their words, and how the content flows and how it hits us is different. The notes, the words, the context, the moment in time, the things that it clues up and keys up in our DNA. Our alchemy is stirred and activated through musical resonance and remembrance. And that's sometimes one of the most enjoyable and easy ways for spirit to reach us with some type of message. If lyrics are going through our mind, if we keep humming a tune, getting into the lyrics of that, playing it for yourself and meditating upon that might bring up something for you. So below that, 3 more were left in my hand, and it is the Knowledge, Mediumship, and Starseed cards. I think that makes a good thumbnail there, unless I screenshot the whole thing. It's beautiful. Oh, you can't see it with my fingers anyways. Don't mind my nails. So universal love is coming through. We have the ability to channel spiritual messages, galactic, cosmic knowledge. maybe that's part of the cultural remembrance that you came in with. And I think that many of us resonate with past life, concurrent life, future life, all of this coming in through the remembrance of who we are. And it's also for some of us, as our gifts come online, we can even, through dreams, through meditation, visioning, or even just altered mind states for some, there have been times where I have dreamt of being somebody else or seeing through their eyes, or in a moment of deep conversation in those dark hours of the night, speaking to somebody about something very, very foundational to their makeup, everything that they have become, and where the face almost starts to change and their voice starts to change, and I can almost perceive different people, different things, but the child inside, the wound complex. So there might be something coming up for you where your specific gifts are kind of shifting and changing before your own eyes, because I'm seeing this very much as this activation of the caretaker here. It's like by chasing that yeah, and we've also got, oh, look at these three together. Caretaker and knowledge here, and also recognition and faith and power. Oh my goodness, these are a powerful combo. Look at all that. That's even better. Oh, I love it. Anyways, so the power, faith, recognition are underneath the deck. I'll just read those as long as I'm here. So recognition was the first one. Then below that, going back, faith, power, manifest, rejuvenation, and love. Now I'm not going to go any further. You can see I get very tempted. Temptation, the siren card came out earlier. So caretaker of knowledge, it's like you're the sacred scroll keeper. You are the scribe of sacred knowledge, and your ability to channel these into your database and to be the vibrational emanation of that in any type of a form, whether it's simply holding the vibration within yourself. I'm getting all tingly here. The vibration of love rejuvenates other individuals to help them to have faith in their manifestation, which the first and foremost manifestation is of the self. So simply by connecting eyes, connecting stories, having the eyes and the ears to perceive of another individual can completely unlock them. It's being the unconditionally loving or the tough love of the mother or the father, and being able to challenge individuals in such a way that opens them up. So the sacred caretaker of knowledge, mediumship, channeling that down in through the third eye, and then being able to kind of be like unlocked. See how this is like the eyes becoming trans-dimensional, seeing through something that wasn't before. And look at the eyes here. This looks very alien-esque, and it looks like the earth, and having this collective knowledge channeled, funneled down through this portal here into the vessel and those that are waiting. So the synergy card, when I'm asking about synergy and how we're working through this and with others, remembering this seed of love and how we are supposed to transmute and transmit our messages and the messages from beyond through us, and cooperate with spirit. What are we supposed to be doing? I got the sexuality card. Now, come on. Now, okay, hopefully you can see how to apply this to your particular situation, but think about how activating intimate love becomes in our life. It can inspire so many people across time, space, and beyond to greater compassion, greater nostalgia. Even the birthing miracle happens because of sexuality, because of procreation and co-creation. And then and it inspires so much poetry, writing, music, lyricism, and all kinds of intense activations within the body. And so if we have some trauma that's related in those ways, we really are being asked to transmute something intense. And I do not know any advice that I would necessarily give, and I don't think it's my place to do so in this situation, but I believe that most of us have already gone through and transmuted our hugest reservations or fears of rejection, abandonment, or exploitation for many. So under that as well, for greater clarification, I got feline, voice, and frequency shift. So utilizing the voice here is, again, a form of music, a form of the throat chakra, which is here under the deck, and communication. So feline, it could very well be the Lyrian star cluster. I don't know enough about that to speak on that, but it's something to do with either cat energy or bird energy. And it's definitely the grace, the cats have that sexy little saunter, and they know how to play. They know how to relax and bask in the sun. How often do people say, oh, cats are multidimensional. They're here, then they're gone. They can be so friendly, and then they can flip on a dime. Depends on their personality. And, dogs can be the same, but there's something here about being able to manifest this in other individuals' lives and to be independent from them at the same time, like not trying to do the work for others in some type of codependent way that attempts to validate who and how and what we are and what we're doing. Whoa. Okay, that's a lot, but let's see if we have time. Under the deck, the shapeshifter. I absolutely love shapeshifter energy. And I know many people take it as trickster, false energy, but that's not how I take it. I take it as the multidimensional. It's like the transmutational, the transcendent. It's transdimensional in particular here because we have remembrance, mediumship, starseed, and the ability to channel those messages. Are you channeling tones in music through what you're doing? Are you, there's something about being able to put this into writing, to read something and put it into song, your impressions, your feelings, what comes up about love and divinity. So then the first cluster that comes out underneath, the starborn. So there are definitely many here that are activating their star roots. And I see this egg as cracking open. It's like the suffering. The suffering is the crack where the light comes in. And so without having any type of intensity in our lives, would we ever be squeezed enough that the charcoal actually gets compressed enough to yield the diamond, the crystalline center? It's like, how many licks does it take to get to that gooey center of love? All right, under that, the prayer. Yeah, there's a manifestation. The bardo. I'm not going to take reversals generally. If it's plus or minus, up and down, back and forth, I usually just speak it up. The Bardo here did show up in reverse though. But the Bardo talks about that liminal space of, I believe it's judgment, the darkness, the almost the underworld, but the underworld is separate. We'll actually take a look at that one just for messages that may come through. The crone, and I'm also hearing the crow. So there's definitely some ancient feminine energy, the mother, the caretaker, the witch maybe for you, and then the vision showing itself upside down to me at first. It's like the if we were perhaps lost, misplaced, misguided in the Bardo from the beginning, our prayers were heard. We didn't necessarily belong here in this earthly plane. We were sensitive star-born souls born into the Bardo, but our prayers were actually answered in a weird form, and we have become the crone, masculine or feminine. And our vision was given to us during these times before, but it took time to create, to gestate, to bring the coin, to pass. This is the portal shown in the starseed card. It's like coming down, but we were kind of planted. We were the seed that needed to still rise up. And now we're rising up to meet that vision. And then we had, oh, I'm going to get cut off, but I appreciate you guys and your attention. The forest, not seeing the forest for the trees. We were immersed in something, lost in the forest in a dream. The fault line, everything that was wrong was speaking to us, but the crack ultimately got bigger and broader, and we thought we were going to fall in. Stood at the precipice, at the threshold of temptation to fold, and we took the high road, and we're coming out. The light came in for us. And then we have the kiss, awakening the inner lover, the mountain that it's shown here. We came down from the mountain, from our place of inner peace, and back into the fold, crossing that rainbow bridge that activates the chakras. And we have these issues popping up lastly: the orphan, the father, and the queen, rising onto the throne through the patriarchal structures to bring forth the love of the mother, perhaps activating the darkness as potentiality and beauty. So don't get lost in being the orphan here. Sometimes we are just here put through these trials to share the inspiration and walk each other home. So take care of you guys. I don't think I have anything else. I think we'll leave it there. You're shape-shifting, you're changing, transitioning, and you are a vessel of magical love. So take care of yourself, and don't forget to like, share, subscribe, folks, if you got something out of the messages. Thanks. Bye.